សួស្តីអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នា Welcome to Khmer Voices, where we shine a spotlight on the achievements of the Khmer diaspora around the world. I'm your host, Rothany, aka Vanny. Today, I am introducing you to a first-generation Khmer American, Rothany Sar. Her story, however, doesn't involve immigrating to the U.S. as a refugee. She landed in the United States of America via an arranged marriage. Intrigued yet? I'm sort of in awe thinking about how her childhood was so different from mine. Before her parents attained financial stability, at one time they lived in a pig barn. And here we both are, living lives that on the surface aren't that different. Today, Rothany is a Senior Mainframe Systems Programmer for a tech company that does contract work for the U.S. government. She loves traveling the world with her family and is a passionate foodie. So, how did this poor Cambodian girl get to where she is now? Listen on to find out.
Khmer is Rothany. I actually have the meaning of that name. My dad named me. My dad's name is Roth or Roth. Roth is treasure. Tani is it's like fame or class. And my last name is Sar, which is white or pure. So my dad would always tell me that my name is that you earn your treasure, your fame through pure. Meaning white is pure. So honesty. So that's my name. My close friend called me Tani. My professional friend would call me Rothany or Rothany.
Your history is very different from my previous guests. They have all left Thailand, the refugee camp, and ended up outside of Cambodia. But you actually went back to Cambodia. Can you tell us your story?
I was born in refugee camp Site 2 as well, your previous guest. In 1992, they told us that all the refugees in the camp must return back to Cambodia. It was not a choice, but it's a requirement. So the journey to get there, we took the bus to Aranyaprathet, Thailand, and then took the train. It was a brutal train ride, but it was fun as I was actually 6 years old. It's almost like the ride in Disney, kind of. And then we stopped at the transition center, was called Kop Sro. It's outskirts of Phnom Penh near the airport, actually. Now it's a booming town. As a child, I did not know what it was, what it meant to be in Cambodia. Because I was born in refugee, all I knew was the camp. Even though my parents saying this is home, I did not know what it meant home because my home was refugee. Then I got introduced to relative. They all were strangers to me because, I didn't know them. And they were just like...
Sorry, who were you introduced to?
Relatives.
Did you say religion?
No, relatives. Like uncle.
Oh, relatives. My apologies.
Relatives, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, relatives. Like aunt, uncle, and cousins, and all of those. And they would just all of a sudden become my family. And I was like, my family was friends and refugee, and the grandma, the one. Now, one thing about I pride with Cambodian language is we call each other aunt, uncle, brothers, sisters. It's all the same. It's sense of connections between how we treat others, how we greet others. It's like we all part of one big family. That's I take pride of that. And if for professional level, we greet each other like teacher, like female teacher or male teacher, which is really a sense of respect, which is really nice. Where here, it's hard for me to say like introduce people or say, oh, this is my uncle, this is my aunt. It's like, how many aunts and uncles do you have? It's like, it's like, but they're part of my aunt and uncle. It's like, which aunt and uncle? So, yes, I take pride. Back to being in Cambodia was when they was introducing that. It was just like, what do you mean this is part of family? And those people were not part of my family. It's kind of like as a child, it was a bit confusing. So my parents
Hmm.
took them a while to explain to me this is blood related, connected as bloodline.
Uh-huh.
Those people in refugee was friends, but to me they
Hmm.
family. Yeah, but growing up in Cambodia, it's very interesting because during that time, Cambodia was pretty much in the midst of recovering. When we went back, it was still a war going on. There was no we trying to make peace. That's what it is. We wanted to like vote. Now, my dad actually got a job offer, and this is part of training United Nations, ILO, and all of that to build the nonprofits, microfinance, ACLIDA. That's what the Cambodian would call back then in the 90s. He was the first 28 people that started with that microloan. And Cambodia actually call it back then was they call it Asilichia because the writing. So and nobody knows what it was. So he was a branch
Mm.
manager in Kampong Jam, and we moved to Kampong Jam province. We were really poor. They only give us actually $150, 50 per adult, $25 per children. So four of us, we got $150 to start our life in Cambodia.
Oh my goodness.
So when we got there to Kampong Cham, now being a refugee back in Cambodia, especially in Kampong Cham, we were looked down on. We were the people that they said that you left the country without defending. So we was an outcast.
So they didn't understand that you were just trying to
No,
get to safety?
no. Yeah, that was a culture norm there. We were dealing with that. So my parents, actually my mom and my dad couldn't really find a place to stay because we were kind of outcast. So they were able to rent it a pig barn. To me, that pig barn was a step up because it had concrete floor. And I was
Mm.
like, wow, we on the concrete because in refugee it's just dirt road, everything dirt, you in the mud. So I was just like, wow, it's concrete. And when does it smell? The pig they pushed out on the side and we stayed there. And I was happy, but I know my parent was not. Even my brother, I can
Mhm.
tell because my older brother who is 4 years older than me, so he can understand a lot more.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
as a child, that was a joy, even though without knowing that was not good. However, the safety was not good. So my parents actually decided to send me to my grandma. So my grandmother in Siem Reap actually.
So you're living in this barn that housed pigs. Were pigs there too? Or was it just a
Uh,
former
Pig was
spot for
there.
pigs?
Pig was there, but they have to kick
Oh.
the pig outside. So the pig no longer
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
have a house. Now they're just staying outside in the mud, outside in the rain. Well, we took their place.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
And then how long did you stay in the barn?
actually only a few months because the safety was not
Mhm.
that good and the pressure of being an outcast was there. But Khmer was constantly interrupting the the problem as well. So they decided to send me to live with my grandma on my mom's side
Mhm.
in Siem Reap.
So this is in 1992.
92, yes.
I think we should make that clear then that people think that the war ended in 1979 and everything was kind of safe then. But yeah, we should make it clear that the Khmer Rouge were still
Yes.
bombing places or attacking places. Yeah, and that included where you were staying. And then you went to Siem Reap to stay with your grandmother, you and your brother.
Yes, me and my brother went to Siem Reap to stay with my grandmother. Now my mom, she have actually total eight, seven brothers and sister, eight total. 9, but one was during the didn't make it during the Khmer Rouge. So 8 total,
Mm.
and so many cousins that with my grandma. So we have this little shack, this little house. This is a Cambodian house, which is, the bamboo house, 2-story, lifted up, elevated,
Hmm.
and we're staying there. There's
On
probably about
stilts. Yeah.
10 of us in that house, and we were just like in poverty.
Mm.
It was like went out, pick whatever outside, even ditches for picking out small crab in the fields, pick whatever that we find that's for eating. It was survival mode. My
Did you have
grandma,
any animals?
I had animal in refugee, but not in Siem Reap. So
Okay.
there's no eggs or anything out there.
Sorry, I interrupted, and you were going to say something about your grandmother.
Yes, she's selling numbajok. Every morning
Hmm.
she would woke up early and preparing for the soup, which is numbajok, the green one. It's with the fish.
I think my audience knows what nabuchok is.
Yes. So she make that, she sell that, and I usually wake up early like her, like woke up and be with her and help her out just because I like doing so. And that one morning, early morning, there was a bomb in our town, which is like so close to us, like so close to our house. It was just between probably, I would say, 10 feet away from us. I don't know,
Mm.
in meter, I would say what, 5 meter, around that. So my ear rang, and my grandma pushed me on the side, and the soup would just splash all over. And she realized, you know what, we're not safe here. So we walked that day. We walked to Uncle Wat. So we walked to Uncle Wat, and we stay in Uncle Wat for a few months just for safety.
Oh,
The
wow.
reason we walk to
Hmm.
Angkor Wat to stay, because they have the United Nations base, the military base there in front of Angkor Wat. So we stay there just for our own safety. Now, poverty would just step creeping in like no other. So we didn't have enough food with not many people, but we were not the only family were there. Now, my joy as a child running through a great big Angkor Wat, it was fun. Though, but then starvation creeping in, always hungry. I would like run around behind the soldier, and I was not the only kid. It was like a bunch of other kids running around, followed the soldier, and they would giving us out candy and
Hmm.
cookies and stuff, and it was just like joy. It
Mm.
was just like sweet. It's just fun. It was like those sweet was
Hmm.
just a big treat. Now, fast forward, I was working in IT, and one of my coworker happened to be one of the soldier who gave me candies. Yes,
Amazing.
we were
Did you
sharing.
recognize the soldier?
Well, I did not recognize him. He didn't recognize none of those. We was having a company party, and we happened to join. And
Uh-huh.
he shared the same cubicle wall with me, but we never really talked much because he different department. Then
Hmm.
he said, "Oh, by the way, you where you from?" I said, "From Cambodia." He said, "Oh, I've been to Cambodia." And I said, "Oh, really? When?" He said, "Well, in the early '90s, I was a soldier there." I was like, "Really? And which location you were at?" And he said, "Well, I stationed it in front of Uncle What?" And triggered me. I said, "Do you happen to give out some candies and cookie to children?" He said, "Oh yeah, all the time." And I said, "Oh, by the way, I was one of those children." And then he
Oh.
was shocked. He was just like his eyes open and speechless. He was like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." And I told him, by the way, because of that candy and cookie, it was your inspiration that's put me where I am. To me, when I saw those soldiers give me those sweet treat, I was like, I want to be them. I want to be clean. I wanted to be wearing nice clothes, white uniform. I wanted to be like them. It's like a
Mm.
dream to have a good life. And I look to
Mhm.
them as my inspiration. That's why I mentioned it. By the way, this is my inspiration. Anyway, that was the story of Uncle Wat. I got back with my family after probably 5 months, and during that time, everything was settled down. Khmer was calm, no more bombing or
Mhm.
gunfires. So when we went,
What were your parents doing while you're with your grandmother?
my my father was in training. Yes,
Okay.
he's in training in Phnom Penh. And my mom, she's actually selling used clothes and just trying to make financial means. And but they were not. My mom's still in Kampong
Mm.
Cham, so it was just like it's separation. We both all four, well, me and my brother
Wow.
together, but my mom and my dad was separated too because one in Kampong Cham, one in Phnom Penh. So it would be
Mm.
difficult. No one gonna take care of us as well, and safety issue.
Yeah. How long were you separated for? How long did you live like that?
It's about, I would say, close to a year. So 93, we got back,
Okay.
late 93. So we went back,
Mhm.
and this time we went back to Kamucham on all of us together. We were in a nicer house. This one is nice. It's almost like a villa, I would say, in Cambodia.
So you were about 8 years old then?
Yes, I was about 8 years old. It was nice, life looking better. And this is very common. My parents were there and we need a birth certificate. Now in refugee camp, we didn't have the birth certificate,
Mhm.
so they create us a new birth certificate for me and my brother, and they the one who come up with the birthday. So I have two birthday. Yes, I
Oh,
have two.
yeah, that's actually quite common.
Yes, it is because we were not born with the birth certificate, so they just come up with whatever. My
Mhm.
brother was older. They put him older, and they put me younger, and the date was different. And yes, school was my passion then. I joined a school,
Uh,
but it was not just the school itself, but I have witnessed something that's very profound as being Cambodian during that early time was everyone was trying to rebuild Cambodia. So we were like, there's a lot of nonprofits, there's a lot of connection community. My dad was very inspiring that he fueled his passion and put his mind into rebuilding Cambodia. So working for a Clita Bank, now is a bank, it was not just a job. I can tell that he put it into rebuilding Cambodia, how to help
mhm.
the community, microloan, and it's really inspiring to see. But I also I look have other aunt and uncle from refugee that also have a lot of nonprofits that they helping with sex trafficking, children, orphanage, all of those. I was in the middle of it all. I was just witnessing how Cambodia was being rebuilt with the inspiration of being a community. But one thing at school that taught me the most was Cambodian heritage. Being a girl, I was always inspired, and even though the culture said that we are women and always been submissive, and education is not really important because we always gonna be behind men's success.
Someone's white. Yeah.
Someone's wife. We will build to be someone's wife. Though, when the legend was talking about at school, they were talking about that the founder of Cambodia was the princess Niang Nia. As you know, Cambodian tradition, the wedding where Niang Pretao Niang Nia is holding the hem, the garment, the king or the groom would hold the garment of the wife. That was the tradition of Cambodian legends. The founder was Niang Nia, who legend would say that she's the daughter of the Naga snake, the king snake that you see in Angkor Wat. You will see the five head Naga. that was the daughter, is the founder of Cambodia, who is strong and very independent. One day was saved the Prince of India who was lost and end up in during his expeditions and lost in Cambodia. Near found him, fall in love, and then that's where the birth of Hindu came from. All the religions came from was during that prince that built Angkor Wat. Now, the other story that inspired me was Jayavaraman VII, who the king you're ruling the empire, who have a wife. He have two wives, but the first wife was they're both sister, Andrat Devi, which is also known in Cambodia how she's influenced Cambodian culture, and she was the wife of the king that who brought Buddhism into Cambodia. So it just showed me that history of Cambodia was showing that woman does have the power. Not just history itself throughout. I see that Khmer women are really strong. We are very resilient, independent, outspoken. We was even though society said we are submissive, but we are not. We are more than that. That's how I see, and I was having that spirit in me of woman is more than just a wife. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. So,
that's
so
how I
you
look.
learned this one at a young age when you were
Yes,
like 10 years old?
yes, because that was history, and I was just inspired by that, inspired that story that we are more
Mm-hmm.
than that. And sometimes I would argue. I'm also stubborn as a kid. So my mom would say, "Hey, do your
Uh-huh.
chore." And you can't never get away from the kitchen. I said, Mom, one day I will get out of the kitchen. I want to be someone else than what
Mm-hmm.
society
Mm-hmm.
expect me to be. And she said, well, and she was right. My mom was right. We never get away from the kitchen. But
Were you like your friends? Were your friends like this as well?
um, they're more of shy. My friends,
Hmm.
not all of them, but I'm kind of the center of the friends. So I'm kind of like
Mm.
strong, like a bull, go getter kind of personality.
Starting from the age of around 9 years old, your life was more comfortable.
Yeah.
You went to school, you had friends, you had a happy life. You graduated high school,
Hmm.
and then what happened?
Yes, life was good because my dad, Aklida Bank growing, and he was one of the 28. So he was of the founder. He was pretty much he built his own legacy. So Aklida Bank was his legacy. So our financial stability, friendship was growing. However, I had trauma, scars that that's causing me that build with, and also society expectation as woman, you're submissive to be a wife. Those when I was a kid, I kind of like
Mhm.
strong to be different, but slowly that influence is kind of like creeping in that a wife, the age between age of 18 to 24, that's a prime age for marriage. Though my parents never forced me, pushed me, but after high school, we have relative in California who visiting
Mhm.
us and saying, "Hey, you know, you look beautiful in prime age. Can I have some photos of you?" I said, why? I said, well, I want to introduce you to friends in California. I said, yeah, sure. So I was kind of like, wasn't sure what to do. So I was like, okay. And then months later, she just called and say, hey, I just show you the photo to this American guy, my friend, who's in real estate, and he really want to talk to you. It's almost like a dream come true, kind of like fall into that Cinderella story. You kind of want a prince charming to
Mm.
rescue you and a life in a new world. And back then, even though I was excel at school and actually I've discovered the internet too. Was like we moved to Phnom Penh for my brother university. He went to university, and also like I'm about to urge myself to go into university, and I discover internet and created email account, and then I just said, okay, yeah, you can give me my contact information, and I said, and also my email, and my relative, my aunt, was like, you have email? This is 2005. This is 2005. Yes, I do. And she was kind of surprised because Cambodian was known for like pretty much in recovery. The technology was
Hmm.
nothing that would be in the vocabulary back then. And I said yes. So I ended up talking to him. Now I went to school, English school too, so I can communicate basic English. So he called me up,
Mm.
and this is in May of 2005. And he
Hmm.
introduced himself to me, and we talk, and then he sent his photos, and we communicate, and then everything looks good. My parents was kind of sensitive about this information, and then it's become an arranged marriage. But my dad had one condition for that arranged marriage. I said that as long as she's in America and she can go to college in America, then there's a deal for marriage.
So, question,
Hmm.
did you like him?
I pretend and I told myself he's the prince.
Okay. How old were you and how old
We were
was
20
he?
years apart. I was 19. He's 39.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So,
Okay.
like, you said, do I like him? I, do I love him? I love the idea of American dream. So I love
Hmm.
the idea. But personally, person to person, I don't know. I don't have the answer for that because it's more of the idea of a prince charming to rescue and almost a Cinderella back in that. So I love him being a prince.
Hmm.
Now,
I was wondering because I have a cousin who married a guy in Canada too, and they ended up loving each other and they're happily married with 3 kids now. But I could see why it didn't work out with you. Like there were so many differences, not only culturally, but age-wise as well. My cousin, she's assimilated into Canada now, but her husband is around the same age as her. So, there's I feel that plays a large role in
well,
being
yes.
compatible,
Yeah, and love.
especially when you're 18 or
I
19.
was 19. Yes.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is, love, what I learned along the way, love is a verb. Is you choose to love someone, and love can grow. So arranged
Mhm.
marriage, ideally, it's like it sounds bad, but it's not really because you actually can grow to love each other. You can grow, you can learn to love each other. But in that, for my particular moment, it was not kind of love and grow. It's more of a fairy tale story. So it's kind of like you want to
Mhm.
grabbing on to something that you imagining to be. It's
Mhm.
not realistic.
Mhm. Did you get to meet him? Did he come to Cambodia?
He came 5 days before the wedding.
Oh, wow.
So we was talking at the end of May. Our marriage was September, and he came 5 days before the wedding. So after we talking, we agreement. I just right finishes high school, so all of a sudden I become this person who arrange a wedding for a lifetime. Now, most women that would be something that's really exciting. It's
Mhm.
wedding. For me, it was like a project that I enjoy. It tackles like a project. I just like going. Okay, I need catering. I need the venue. I need, and I was kind of girly, so everything was pink. Everything I picked a theme. even though the groom was end up wearing pink, and he said, "This is the first time in my life wearing pink." But that was one of the common. But he would just kind of observe, and he's very charming. He's very, you know, adapt like for foreigner being an American. He's is very charming. So love was not there, but like being charming, connection is there. So it's not like an awkward conversations because he seemed to be
Hmm.
charming. Yeah, we got into that arranged marriage, and that was in September of 2005. I got to America in 2006, March 8th, 2006, which is coincidentally, as people know, March 8th was is the Women Independence Day, like kind of Women's Day. So kind of like for women. So ironically, I came in.
Yeah, International Women's Day.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like ironically, I picked that day as the day I landed.
Did you
And
you didn't know?
no, it was just coincidence.
Yeah.
It just happened. It's like a universe telling me, it's like, hey, you're a woman.
What was it like when you first arrived in the US?
Whoa, it's like wow, it's a dream come true. It's beyond dream come true, because he was in real estate. His financial was
Hmm.
very well. We lived
Hmm.
in an apartment at ocean front of Orange County, San Clemente. So my view was the ocean view, Carolina Island. He have a
Wow.
boat. We would hang out, going on a boat to back and forth. That's our, you know, getaway, weekend getaway. And I remember exactly the moment I arrived and then first night in LA. I mean, in that apartment. We got a Chinese takeout. Was and then eat in the apartment and looking at the sunset over Carolina Island. It was just like everything was
Wow.
so different. The view, the atmosphere, the weather was dry and cool. It's all was kind of like this is a dream. I passed out on the couch just listening to the ocean just like waving through, and it was just a dream. It was a dream come true. It's really happily ever after Cinderella climb into the carriage and say goodbye, waving goodbye. It was one of those moments. So it was everything was good except when I met the all the Cambodian relatives and friends and all the community. Everyone was saying to me, "You are so lucky. You are very lucky." To me, when I was growing up, I was 10 when I was inspired by legend of Cambodian woman. I was
Hmm.
committed to myself that I would not stay behind men's success. But here I was behind men's success.
Hmm.
It was just like a contrast. So even though it's a compliment to me, it was like, I can build my life myself. But it was just like
Did
this.
you yeah, did you actually feel lucky, or did you feel that you could have accomplished a lot in Cambodia as well, given your ambition and your education and your desire to pursue higher education?
It's a battle. It was like the inside of me. It was like uh once feeling lucky, but once feeling that I could do it myself. So it's kind of like this society expectation and then my own ambitions was fighting. So
Mm,
it's kind of like this constant battle. So do I feel lucky? I do. Do I feel like I can do better? I do. But it's just like this constant battle in me that I wouldn't give me peace. It was just something that was not peace. But overall, it was kind of like
so you felt kind of offended, like, "Hey, you
yes,
actually don't know me. You don't
yes,
know who I am." Like,
yes, yes. I was kind of
yeah,
offended with
okay.
that lucky. I mean, he showed up with a brand new Mercedes as a gift of Christmas, showing it everyone in the community. Who wouldn't think that I was lucky, right?
Mhm, mhm.
It was like a lot of lucky in there, a lot of luck, a lot of being a princess. they were thinking in their mind was I'm like on this, drinking tea with, kind of
Hmm.
pinky up, flipped up, like princess kind of charming. But I'm not a princess. I know myself. I was not a princess. Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah, life is good. But then, 2007, 2008, when the real estate market crashed, he was actually from Texas. So we moved to Texas.
Hmm.
And he didn't expect me to willingly to move to Texas because he thought that my life in California
Hmm.
now, all the family and relative and this we built the life we built was in
Friends.
California.
Yeah.
But I was excited to move to Texas. I want something different. I want something more meaningful. So when he mentioned that Texas, yes, let's go, let's do it. And he was kind of shocked. Like, how can she just like so excited to move to somewhere that's
Hmm.
you don't know anyone? But
Wait, I have a question. While you were in California, so it was for 2 years you're in California.
yeah,
What were you doing? Because you seem like a very like you're a go-getter. Seems like you always have something on your plate,
I
right?
did.
What were you doing during those 2 years?
Well, at first, I asked him if it's okay for me to start a job. So I work at a Chinese restaurant, driving my
Hmm.
brand new Mercedes, showing up in a Chinese restaurant. Um, the Cambodian owner, and my English was still really raw. Like I was like
Uh-huh.
I call combo, like orange chicken combo, which like I call it Cambo, and then the owner is Cambodian and said, "Tani, it's not Cambo, it's combo. It's not Cambodia here, it's combo." Yeah, I work 5 days a week, 10 hours a day. I enjoyed it. I
Wow.
earned my own income. I can spend whatever,
Hmm.
not based on his allowance. So that's when you ask that. Then I saw a opportunity about being a dental assistant. So I said, well, you know what? And even though my father want me to go on the university, I said, this is a shortcut. I can be, training skill and I can build. But I don't like smelling of alcohol. I don't like hospital kind of clinic. And I went on training a few months and I even got a part-time job and a dentist with a Vietnamese dentist. And being an assistant
Mm.
and look at people's mouth all day, I was like, this is not for me. I know they make good money, but I don't think I can go to medical. So I decided to quit that. I was like, no, no. I mean, it
Hmm.
was like skill without passion. It's dead. I mean, it's dead.
Hmm.
So yes, that was my 2 years in California, working in a Chinese restaurant. And then what do I do on weekend? We also get a season pass to Disneyland. So we would just spend time in Disneyland or on a boat, or we even have an
Hmm.
RV. So we went out camping a lot. That was it's a princess lifestyle. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't even have to work, but I choose to work. Like you said, I was a go-getter. So yeah, going to Texas, I was
So
excited.
for 2 years you did that, and then you
Ye-
moved to Texas. Yeah.
yes. So
And
Texas,
what happened in Texas?
a lot happening actually. Um, one thing that we know is I actually started college because we moved to a neighborhood across the street from the community college. So I signed up, and it was a dream come true to me because academically, I, I was always top of the class and I always wanted not just A's, but I wanted like to be usually at school in Cambodia. If you are the top three, like first, second, third place, you will get an award. And I never get first, but I will get second or third, and I always competed to get that. So college was a lifeline for me. Then my marriage just seemed to be that now that I did not have anyone around me, Cambodian community. So we kind of realized each other that we have nothing in common. Because California has a lot of distraction, a lot of things that we just like cover up. Like, but the fact that in Texas is you don't have anything to do, nothing to do. You just like end up being together. Like you have to face that moment of being togetherness. And we were like, we don't like what each other like. Like even the sense of music, movies, none of those is something that we liked.
So 3 years have passed since you met each other then.
Yes, and we finally get to know each other. I'm I'm very friendly, good go-getter person, and I make a lot of friendship. In actually in Texas, I made a lot of friends. So we end up doing completely separate things. Like he working on cars
Mm.
and building car racing. Me, on the other hand, I would like reading Twilight books and then girly stuff, and then went to the movie with my friends. So I hang out and have Japanese friends that we would just like go to eat Asian food together, go shopping together. We was just doing completely separate things. Then it's when a time comes that I finish my associate degree, then I have to transfer to, my 4 year college. Then I picked the electrical engineering at Texas A&M because I like A&M. Then we have to separate two households. So we went, one is A&M, yes, because we in Houston.
Mhm.
So um, we end up having two household income. Now, even though I was in college, I was in town, I was actually working in a gas station during the day and then went to college to get my associate at the night. So I have those extra income to help me spending like
Mhm.
whatever my normal expense basically. Um, but with A&M, I have to rely on him 100% because academically it's hard. It's getting harder. And
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
the tension came of being two
Mm.
households so much because school's not cheap in America. It really is
Mhm.
an expensive
Mhm.
thing to go through, and we often argue a lot of things that we're just like, and to the point that I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm done with arguing. And
Yeah.
now, to me, it would have been as like, let's end the marriage and then focus on my school. Is that would be a perfect sense for myself, for my heart, but I did something that is
Mm.
for what society expecting, what my family expected of me is that they value French marriage. Divorce is not something an option. So I cut it um, college, which is my lifeline to be with him.
Mm.
And when I cut that, it's almost like a Matrix movie where you're taking the red pill or the blue pill. I choose the blue pill. I choose to take it like let's go with the soc- what society expect me to be, a submissive wife, you know.
Mhm.
But that was a mistake. That was like a bomb that I just infused it. It was just I couldn't.
Didn't it occur to you though that you don't enjoy spending time together, that maybe you shouldn't be with each other?
It's occurred to me.
Like, did you ever have that conversation? Did you have that conversation with him?
Yes, we did, and we argue a lot because I didn't like
Mm.
what he did, and he didn't like what I did. But we kind of like brush it off, and
Mm.
like we actually one of that was like one of the biggest argument that we had together. Every time we argue, it was just all about that we have nothing in common. And after I left A&M, I was done. I was done both way. I mean, I cut it. It's like a bomb. It's like when I cut the school, I also cut my marriage. I'm done with both. Even though
Mhm.
I was with him
Mhm.
physically, like based on other people expect me to be, but I just emotionally, physically, I'm like, I couldn't do this. I'm no longer a princess. I can't be a princess. I can't pretend to be a princess anymore. I didn't care. Like, I was just like, I didn't care.
Mhm.
What I feared the most was what other people think. You know, what they call it is like all those rumors, and it's
Mhm.
it's so much out there. But to the point that I'm like, we moved back to California. By the way, we moved back to California to reconnect, to reconcile, because he also have his job can be remote, so he got a new job that can be
Mhm.
anywhere. So we moved back to California, hoping that we can spark the marriage again. Now, before we moved back
Mhm.
to California, I actually I started a business. I was selling bed sheets and stuff, and it's booming too. Because after college, I was like, I need to find something that inspires me. But it
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was making money, I was supporting myself, but I feel like numb. I would feel like there's no purpose anymore. My purpose was school. I had no purpose, no goal, no meaning. Life is
Mm-hmm.
meaningless. Emptiness, depression was just like creeping in like crazy. So we moved to California, but it didn't help because it's like, it's in my mind, it's done. This is done. So we moved to California and we know marriage was broken. We went to many counseling, even, relative help to kind of reconcile. But deep down, we both know it was over. It was over.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved back to Texas. I drove back to Texas because my life is in Texas. I feel home. I feel friends and connections. Even though it's my family relative in California, but my home is
Mm-hmm.
Texas. So I moved back to Texas, starting a job. In the beginning, friends offered me a home to stay. I stay with them. I worked two jobs, 16 hours a day to just build up. I left my marriage with nothing. It was tension. My marriage became ugly during the divorce because it was like, all this asset. I was like, you know what? I don't want anything. I do not want anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what about the
Mm-hmm.
car? The car's under my name. I said, okay, you can have a car too. He said, you don't know what you're doing. You should go back to Cambodia and at least you have a good life there. That's what he meant well. I know he meant well because he's like, you
Mm-hmm.
don't know how it works, how many bills you have to pay and that kind of stuff. You don't know. It's a life of a
Mm-hmm.
princess, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
that moment when he said, it's like
Don't underestimate me.
yes, you have no idea you have no idea you're married to. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, after that phone call conversation, when he said that, he disconnected my phone. He's disconnected. This is part of paying bill. I want to teach you a lesson that
Mm-hmm.
I pay your phone bill. So I was sitting there and I was staying with this wonderful couple, American couple. And he walked up to me and said, hey, what's wrong? Honey, what's wrong? And I was staring at the wall. I said, my phone got disconnected. And he said, so what you gonna do about it? I look up to him. It was like a light bulb. I said, I'm gonna get a new phone. So I went and get a new phone. It's connected. Um, they was my help, like really encouraging. I went to 16 hours a day. I almost get home around 11 o'clock one night. I was just like exhausted, like drained. But they cooked. They
What
would.
were you doing? What work were you doing
I was working in a
at this
gas
time?
station and gas
Mm.
stations from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then I work as a host
Oh my
in
goodness.
an Italian restaurant from 2:30 to 10:30 p.m.
Oh wow.
And then I went home to their house that they offered me. Guess what? That night they was waiting for me for dinner. It was 11 o'clock at night. They was cooking me steak,
Oh.
medium rare, to my liking. I said, "Oh, she's home now. It's time to have dinner." And that was like almost tear. It was like, and when those, it was just love was there. It's love was there, and it was just comforting me. Keep going, keep doing it. And eventually, I got a job in IT. I was just a contractor, but
Mm-hmm.
they liked my work ethic, so they offered me a full-time job running cable.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to Brownsville College. That was the college I went to that finished my associate degree. And they said I
Mm-hmm.
only need 19 credit hours left to get my bachelor. So I
Mm-hmm.
went back, signed up for school, finishing my bachelor degree. Joined citizens, like applied for citizen, got citizenship, sponsored my parents, and build my life. And
So, how did you finance your education when you were divorced? It was from working those
I
16 hours a
actually
day?
no, going back to the college after my divorce,
Mm-hmm.
I got the IT job,
Mm-hmm.
so I have my
Oh,
salary.
right. Okay.
Yes. So after the
Okay.
working, I finally got a permanent job where I pretty much built my life through that work. Um, Even though it didn't pay much, but I can save up and paying for my school, pretty much paying cash for it.
Mm-hmm.
And got my degree, just pretty much built it from the ground up, built it from the rubble.
Hmm. So tell
And
us about your work history. So you got the that IT job, and
well,
then what did you end up? How long were you there, and then where are you now?
yes. So I was there. I started off setting up phone system and running Ethernet cable. That was a
Hmm.
project based on projects, and that's how I started building up my IT background. Was just in that field with networking, uh, IT projects. Then I got my degree and I met my husband, my now husband. And how I met him was he had the same passion as me. Food, travel, it all. We spent first Christmas waiting in line for a Texas barbecue. I was like, this is my guy. I want him because he was just like standing in line for like, we were standing in line almost an hour just to get a barbecue. So we got married and my IT job was pretty much just all a lot of travel, a lot of projects because we based on project. I travel all over Texas, and
Hmm.
then we have my daughter. We have only one daughter, and he told me that I can just take a break from work. That's not ideally to work on a IT project while having a child. So he said you don't have to work.
Hmm.
Um, you know, just take a break for a while. I went crazy for 6 months after my daughter. I was like, I am not built for housewife. It's not that because
Hmm.
it's hard. Being a mom, stay
It
home
is.
mom,
It
it's
is.
hard. It's
100%. Yep.
it's just like I never could able to clean the house because it just never cleaned. It just like within minute. It's really. I was like, I was crying to him. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. This is I can work 16 hours a day outside, but I can't do this. This is 24/7 job. So
Hmm.
he's also in IT, and he worked for insurance
Hmm.
company. I say okay, and then he helped me build up my resume, and then got me a job in the same company he did. As an operator, I was
Hmm.
introduced to mainframe and technology too. And the first time I saw it, it's like my passion in IT. It was just everything was wow, wow, everything wow. So I work is not just skill like I try with dental assistant. It's more of my passion aligned with skill. When I walk into that job,
Hmm.
it's like wow, this is like NASA because computer everywhere, server. It was NASA.
Can you clarify? It's this is a foreign language to me. Anything regarding like IT. What is mainframe?
Oh, yes. Mainframe is an old computer machine. This is where we put men on the moon. That is the first mainframe IBM computer that running heavy processing. That's how they use in banking. Most people think that is non-existent anymore because it's an
Hmm.
old computer. Old language is
Hmm.
COBOL, JCL. That's just old old um pretty much in IT that's an old language, an old, but it's still existing. Even now we're running on Z16. Is even though it's old, but IBM is evolving. So not many people know what mainframe is. So there's not many people have skill in mainframe. I happened to stumble into it by accident, and now I'm like one of the highest um like it's one of the niche skill that people would come and reach out to me everywhere. Like daily, I would get
Very cool.
yes.
How many people do you estimate have that knowledge and know-how in mainframe that you do?
Not many. Most of them right now at this moment, most of them is at retirement age, in their 60. My
Okay.
coworkers is all in their 60s right now. I'm the not the youngest,
Mm.
but now I'm become a senior level now. But young people, it's really for human resource for this skill, it's very high demand and it's low. I can't say percentage, but if it's just like in banking and insurance and government, it's they need it. And I would like if anyone
Mm,
wanted to get into IT world, looking into learning mainframe because it's always in high demand. They
mm.
always need people. Um, Actually, I just got an offer to a new job. I was just get into the new role where they offer me salary wise, offer me 50% more than my asking.
Wow.
Yes, 50 more than my asking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm passionate in IT and I got to where I am because of my skill and my passion. My advice is to go with your passion and then build your skill with your passion. Not to do something because everyone say that, oh, this is something that make good money. Cause like I said, I
Mhm.
went to that dental assistant. It's good money, but I'm not doing it. I can't look at people's mouth all day. It's not my passion. So just go with your passion because your passion would push you to the next level. And it's
Mhm,
skill.
mhm.
So I encourage really my passion and skill. It's just go by hand. So yeah, this is where I am now.
Yeah, so in terms of getting to where you are now, you mentioned that the soldiers inspired you because they showed you what a better life could look like. Like, they were clean, they were in crisp uniforms. Who else inspired you? So you
Um,
mentioned, like, our Cambodian heritage inspired you too. Was
yes,
there anyone else that offered inspiration?
my father, my dad, like his work ethic showed me that you can build a
Mhm.
legacy. And also then I
Mm,
have would say friends, but also my aunt, a friend from refugee, Samniang, means Samniang. I grew up with her in the refugee, and I saw her being a woman that just desire with education. She was also a volunteer teacher in the refugee. And then when she came to Cambodia, we were on the same train actually. But her work was so inspiring. It's all about encouraging women, building up. She even like helped with the sex trafficking organizations, and she's also part of Michelle Obama Foundation. She was in the U.S. for that foundation for sponsoring She Can. I think that was one of the organizations she did. She's inspired me. I looked up to her when I was a kid.
mm,
Sometimes I spend my summer at her house and seeing her as like a strong, independent Khmer woman. To me, I want to be like her. I want to make a difference. Career wise,
mhm,
I'm doing well where I am, but I also wanted to build a legacy for my daughter, and also want to her to know where her mom came from. I'm currently
mm,
sponsoring student to college in Cambodia. I partner with YWAM Ministry. Reason I end up, I have a story on this, like how I met them was during the COVID 2020. Um, I look on social media. I saw what they did. They were just like helping the community by providing food and stuff during the COVID when everything shut down. Cambodia was just pretty much struggling, especially people in the remote villages. And
mhm,
during COVID, I worked from home and I actually wanted to get face masks to protect my family, and I couldn't find anything. Everything was just sold out. So I bought stuff from wholesale in China, Alibaba. I got it boxes and delivered it to me within like a few days. But I had to
mhm,
buy it in bulk. So I bought it
mhm,
and I give out to my family and friends and all that to protect. But then I have a lot left over. I was like, well, I'm gonna do with this. I put it out on Amazon and eBay. It sold within minutes. And I was like, I remember that moment. I was just like stunned when it's sold out. And then I have all this order and then I have to print out. I use the printer to print out the, like shipping label. I was like, how am I going to do this?
mhm.
I was like staring at it and shocked. And my husband walked by my desk and it's like, "What are you doing?" Well, I said, "I have this order." He was just like, "Oh my god!" And then he just set up a station for me with like enterprise online, pretty much printing label and all this stuff doing it within, like speed up. At night, me and my husband, we were just doing the shipping label, sending out, selling masks. So profit wise, it was good. Money was good, but I want to do
Mm.
something with that money because we're going out to shut down the world and like shut down. I'm not gonna take joy out of this. I'm not gonna be. This is my own profit. So I reach out to that YWAM. I say, hey, I'm gonna donate to help Cambodia. So I use the profit that I make from mass to help Cambodia. Then we build a friendship from then on, and I help with the community, like sponsoring and also doing the backpack initiative. We
Mm.
just recently helping 450 children with the backpack. And I told they asking, we just passed Christmas, so it was like season of giving. What did you do? So my new company asking, what did you do for season of giving? I said, well, I'm doing the backpack initiative. And my boss, who is also my inspiration, she's African American woman and in the mainframe world, which is 95% men. She was my
Mm-hmm.
first boss ever as a woman. So she's inspiring that she's like, you know what, I want to help you with
Yeah.
your backpack initiative. And she donated the game, like it's Uno game almost, 450 of them and ship out and send out to Cambodia. She likes inspiration. So it's
Oh,
like, wow, she's
wow.
wanted to pitch in.
Is your husband Cambodian,
He's
Khmer,
he's
or
Cambodian Filipino who was
oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
he's Cambodian Filipino who was born in London. Yeah, his father is Cambodian. His mother's is Filipino, and they moved to
Mm.
Miami when he was 6 years old. Moved to yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
then he grew up in Miami and went to college in Miami.
So he's
Yeah,
probably got a fascinating story of his own.
he does. He does. We have so much in common, and including growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
he have his own story, and he said, yeah, it's not obvious like me, refugee and escape from bomb and stuff, but he have his own scars. So we
Mm-hmm.
sharing that, and like I mentioned in the beginning about love is a choice and love can grow. And for us is that we choose to love each other, and every day we grow. We're getting to know each other, we bonded, and he's also my inspirations and I also was his inspiration. We share and we support each other and encourage each other every day. Now I understand what marriage meant, what love meant. um,
Mm-hmm.
my husband and I, we both cook. So we take turn. We both
Mm-hmm.
doing the chore. We both
Mm-hmm.
sharing the responsibility. So now house chores and kitchen, what I learned, it's not just for women. But when you find the right partner, it's become a teamwork. So
Absolutely.
I'm very content where I am now. I'm very passionate and very much proud to be a Cambodian. I grew up with a community that's
Mm-hmm.
full of love. Even now, it's full of love around. I actually building a lot of relationship with the Cambodian community in the US. That is something that I didn't expect myself because as you mentioned that with the Cambodian community, sometimes you don't feel like you want to be Cambodian. You want it to be like, I'm being a Westerner. But I embrace that. I embrace being a Cambodian as the fact that I grew up in Cambodia. I know what it meant to be Cambodian, and people here they need help in the U.S. As you know, especially people that come from refugee who settle in the Western world. Some of those grandparents they can't speak the language. They're going out. They can't speak
Mm-hmm.
foreign language, so they're still Cambodian, and technology is not something that they can catch up on. So I help them whether with the language, documentation, even sometimes just help paying bills for them. Now, what the most I was most known for Cambodian community here, especially in Texas, is I become their travel agent. Because I'm passionate about travel, I was looking at a cheap flight. So I help them book the
Uh-huh.
flight, set up their wheelchair, pick seat for them, doing online checking, and so they go there and just drop off. And I'm being loved by the community because I just like so passionate.
What are your plans in the next, like, 2 to 5 years? It sounds like you're very content with your professional life. Are there any other projects that you, wanna take on?
Actually, your podcast inspired me to write a book. I started to write a book during the holiday, and back in Cambodia when I grew up at school, we didn't have lab. Science was kind of like it's a mystery because we didn't really you learn by the book. You didn't know what to expect. You can't just experiment it. So I picked up my passion in literature. I was like in a creative writing. But moving to America is the opposite because English was not my language. So I was focusing on science. Now I can experiment. So I like that. Now my project is
Mhm,
going back to where I was really passionate is creative writing and storytelling.
mhm.
So now I'm working on my book. Yeah, that's my project.
I have 2 things to say. When I read your email and you told me your story, I felt as if I was reading excerpts from a novel. So I could definitely see a novel coming from you, like, easily.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What was the second one? It had something to do with the storytelling too. Oh, no, it's, your grasp on the English language, because you said that when you came to not Canada, you came to the US in 2006, you did study some English, but it was not as refined as it is now, and I have to say that you have a very strong grasp of the English language.
Yeah,
So, in terms of writing a book in English, it'll be fantastic.
yeah, I came a long way. I came a long way, and I would never back then
Mhm,
and now I would never expect myself to write something in English. Now I plan to translate in Cambodia because my book is
mhm,
more of inspiration, especially in Cambodia with the cultural expectations. That's my project and my hope, and that I hope that's to build
mhm,
a legacy is to be inspire others that no matter where they are in life that they can thrive. I mean, coming from a
mhm,
refugee, coming from survival, even starvation, facing starvations, escaping from bomb, and to get where I am, it's a long way. It's a long road.
mhm. Yes.
And even in America, life in America, I mean, having to leave the marriage and start it from nothing. Well, not nothing. I had
Mhm,
student loan debts because it's expensive, and which is already paid off. It's a lot. It's a lot, but again, I go back to legacy being Gone Khmer. We have the rich inheritance. It's not from Khmer root, but where we from, our ancestors being Khmer woman who the founder, and we are inspiration to others that we can thrive, we can be what we want to be. And I am
mhm,
what I want to be, fascinated by technology. So
mhm, mhm.
that's
You definitely have a fascinating story and an inspirational one too. Before we wrap up though, what are a couple things that you want listeners to remember about your story?
what I want everyone to remember is that no matter where you are in life, it doesn't matter what difficulty you go through, just believe that you can do it. Just believe in yourself and with your passion. Now, I'm also a Christian. I believe in faith. Just seeking for someone higher and to guide you. That's also a great way. So just mainly is believe in yourself that you can do it. just go with your pace. It doesn't have to be now, right then. And freedom, the one thing about freedom is not that you picturistic of coming out of the cage and flying out. No. You're stuck in a cage for so long, you're gonna come out, you're gonna be brutal, you're just gonna walk. So just be patient, step by step. One day you're gonna fly. But just take time and
Mm.
knowing that you can get through this. That's my message. That you can do this. You can be what you want to be.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I look forward to the book.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Netang Aknia, consider this episode a sneak peek into Rothany's book. She revealed more prior to the recording, but I am not going to say anything else because it's going to be in the book. Rothany has had one heck of a life so far, right? I have to admit, I'm not too familiar with the folklore and legends of Cambodia, so I very much appreciate her providing insight in that regard. We Khmers really are resilient, and us Khmer women, we're strong. Akan Rothany for sharing your journey with us. You really are a strong woman, and I'm sure your story is an inspiration to many. Next week, we're talking with another person from Texas who also entered an arranged marriage. This time, though, I'm talking to a man. I can't wait to share his journey with you. If you're enjoying Khmer Voices, be sure to give it a 5-star rating if you haven't yet. Akan Taran for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks.